back, everybody. This is Casey Wallace on Xpnsion Network, and we are here with a special guest of ours. Rodney is a very good friend, but besides that, he and his beautiful wife are extraordinary facilitators of consciousness in a super cool way. We're going to let him talk to you about that. And we want to invite you to be joining us. Of course, as you know, this is a preliminary intro conversation, and we'll be informing you on where the extended version of this conversation will be available to you. Rodney, tell everybody who you are.
So I'm Rodney Van Dorn, and we have a company called Treasures and Creations, which you already know. We specialize in rocks, crystals, rocks, and minerals. And we're a bit more towards the high end. I prefer quality over price. That's because I myself am a collector, and I just like the quality. So we really work at getting a good quality, and that allows us, when we're shopping, to find the pieces that are actually for people that we know, and the rocks and crystals actually communicate with us.
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes it's I'll be walking down the aisle in a giant room full of crystals, and something says me, and so I look over and and so I pick up this beautiful crystal and I put it over in our pile. I was doing that one time, and I'm going after this crystal on the far end of the room, and when I get after this one goes me, I get down to the other end, and this thing goes no. And I'm like, wait a minute, I want you in my personal collection. I have something else I'm supposed to do, find something else. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Wow.
So it's the first time a crystal ever turned me down.
Wow.
Right? So I have actually been turned down by a crystal,
Right.
which kind of set me back on my heels for a minute, right? And then I'm going, okay, well, not all of them are coming with us, which just proves that the ones that do come with us are supposed to come with us.
Right.
We call ourselves Crystal Guardians, and I'm fanatical about that, as you well know. When we go to the shows, we individually wrap them to put them back. I get really upset if somebody chips one of my crystals, because
It's like harming your child.
Well, I feel like I've made a contract with these crystals to get them safely to where they're going.
Right.
Sometimes that's my collection, and a lot of times it's I have very good friends that I look for different pieces for them, but we always seem to get the ones that are going somewhere in particular, right? And I feel like the crystals have a way of knowing what our path is, and so with that, it makes it easy for us to. And the universe is always providing us opportunities we find some of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it makes it fun for everybody. If you just come to our show or our shop when we open it in a couple of weeks, people feel. We've actually had people at a gem fair walk up to my wife and say, I could get the same thing for half the price over there. My wife says, okay. So when you purchase it, why don't you bring it back over here? So this has happened to her multiple times, and the lady will come back and she'll say, well, this one doesn't feel like yours felt. And so my wife will put that one in her other hand, and she's going, oh, I should have bought yours. What is it that's different about yours? It's really simple. While we're shopping, we actually pick them out, we take them home, we wash them, okay? We smudge them, we play music for them all day long. We repeatedly smudge once a month, once every 3 weeks or so, even after they're there. I don't know, we talk to them, they talk to me, so I might as well talk back, right? We just are blessed. It's fun. I'm enjoying this. Is my, if you can't tell by looking at me, this is my passion, and my wife is the same way.
Yeah.
What's interesting is we look for different things, right? So she's got the things she looks for. I have the things I look for, and then there's this group in between. And I've learned to pay attention to what my wife has to say, because I'll say, oh, I don't want that damn thing, and she'll say, no, we really get to have this, and I'll be darned.
Yeah.
You know, so many times people start asking for it, you know, and I'm just like, okay. So now when Trish says, let's do this, I'm like, okay.
For everybody watching out there, I can speak from my own experience as a woman, and also with the things that we do through Expand with Julius. Of course, everybody loves crystals. They're shiny, they're beautiful. But when I had the opportunity to get to know Trish and Rodney, they brought in a whole nother level of experience for me personally with these treasures that the Earthship provides for everybody. As a consumer out there, I can absolutely validate that the experience with Trish and Rodney in anything that you're looking for in this area is going to be extraordinary. They're going to find not just find pieces for you, they're going to help integrate these pieces for you. They're going to help you understand these pieces. It's a whole new thing now for me, okay? In walking around and seeing them and touching them and talking to them. They were able to provide for Brad and I pieces in our now growing collection that I've never experienced before in my life. We're going to be extending this conversation, getting into some really super fun stuff, more and more information on crystals, where they come from, why they're here, some of the things that they can do for people, from healing to raising your consciousness to assisting and changing your energy fields and all kinds of things. Rodney, tell everybody how to find you. Where are you?
Treasures with an S, the letter N for Nancy, Creations with an S. On Facebook is the easiest way to get a hold of us. It's also the same thing .com, okay? But we're really right on top of Facebook because we can keep posting things all the time. One thing I'd like to add is for the practitioners, we have a lot of tools that come from Peru that are made for us by a shaman in Peru that has been the tribal shaman in his family for so many generations they lost count.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And in Peru, to be a real shaman, because shaman means teacher, but to be a real tribal shaman, in Peru they start teaching you at 8 years old.
Wow.
So they're in this from the time they're a little child all the way.
And we have some of those pieces there, and we use them in our workshops. We now use them in our workshops.
What's in your hand?
I've got my baby little guy who's growing in his consciousness.
I know where that one came from.
I know. And they're just going to take everything to another level. Again, we're going to be continuing this conversation. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, just on this brief encounter. Yeah. And we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you soon. This is Casey Wallace on Xpnsion Network. Thanks, everybody.